We are the brave companions. We are the brave companions. We are the brave companions.
Okay, first up is Alveric. His first action is going to be to pick up the survivor. So I will reach in here and pick up this survivor. Shoot. With all of his damage tokens, which he has 5, 6, 7, 8 damage on him. And I will put him under Averic. And then Averic's second is to attack the harpy to the southeast. So this, is he talking about this one? But he only has a melee weapon, so he must be talking about this one. So that's the one I'm going to attack. So hopefully that's correct. Iron Mace on the harpy. The harpy has Iron Mace has blue and yellow. The harpy has a gray. So let's see what happens. Okay, so that's 2 hits and a surge. He can use the surge to add stun, which I think, or he can recover a heart. Since he didn't specify, I think he would probably go with stun. Okay, these harpies only have 3 health, so I'm going to go ahead and kill that, and then Averic will remove 1 hit point, or 1 damage, so he's now at 5 damage. And that was Jess's turn. Now Lee's turn. He wants to move the zombie south, so the zombie can move 3 spaces, so 1, 2, but it doesn't have enough to enter that water space. Now his second one is he's going, actually Lee's first action is going to attack the harpy next to him. Okay, attack on the harpy. Oh, it's a miss! So since the harpy's still alive, Widow Tara is going to use her second action to attack it again. Oh, that's a much better hit. Got the range. Actually, that's not that good, because that's only 2 hits on the harpy, which has a hit points of 3, so it's still alive. So 2 damage goes to my harpy here. And now neither Leoric or Jane submitted a turn. Jane, I'm going to assume, is going to stand up. But Leoric, I guess, is probably going to attack my Master Flesh Molder. I'll say that's what he's going to do. So, Leoric on the Master Flesh Molder. Okay, so Leoric is at full stamina, so he can't add Blast or do any of his other fancy stuff. Although he can exhaust his Mana Weave to get to add 1 Surge. If he doesn't miss. So let's see, he's got a blue and yellow. He's got a range of 1. And my Master Flesh Molder has a defense of 1 gray die. So let's see. Okay, got the range. But his shield blocked both of those. He can exhaust Mana Weave to add 1 Surge. Then he can use the Surge to give it Pierce 2. Which would actually do 2 damage. Okay, so 2 damage to the Master Flesh Molder, who already had 1 damage, but luckily his defense is 5. I mean, his health is 5, so he still can take 2 more hits. That was Averic's first action. So I guess for his second action, maybe he'll just do it again. Okay, so let's do it again. So he got the range. He did 1 damage and 1 surge. For a surge, he could... +1 range is not going to help. Pierce 2 is not going to help. When you have a magic or rune weapon equipped, each of your attacks gains this. Suffer 1 stamina, which he can't do. Okay, so it looks like none of that's going to help. So that means he does 1 more damage. So another lucky break for my Flesh Molder, as he only takes 1 more damage, which brings him up to 4. It means he's still alive. So now for Jane's turn. Jane's going to stand up and let's see how much health she regains. Okay, let's see how much health Jane regains. 3 health and no stamina. Wow. Okay, so Jane is back. She currently has 3 health remaining. She's at 5 damage. And I think that's the end of your turn. So now let's see how my turn goes. Okay, first of all, last time I mistakenly placed this flesh molder on the exit. I actually should have placed him on the entrance over here. So at the beginning of my turn, I can place 1 harpy or 1 master flesh molder on the entrance. On the exit. Sorry. And then at the end of my turn, I can place one monster of any kind on the exit. So I'm going to place my harpy there, and then draw an overlord card. And then I'm going to go ahead and play one of these overlord cards, which is the Word of Misery. Play this card at the start of your turn. During your turn, each time a hero suffers any damage, he also suffers 1 fatigue in addition to the damage suffered. So I'm going to put that out here. Okay, let's start with the harpies. Harpies can move 5. This is going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This one's going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This one's going to go 1, 2, 3. Okay, so the minion harpy does blue and green. Averick has a gray, and he can also exhaust his shield to block 1, to add 1 shield to the result. Got the range. Let's see, if he uses his shield, that does 1 damage plus a surge. A surge, I can use it to do swarm. Swarm says this monster deals +1 damage to each other monster adjacent to the target. So, let's see. I've got 1 damage already. 2, 3. So 3 points of damage. Okay, so Averick takes 3 points of damage, which puts him at 8, which means he has 4 more left. But then he also takes 3 stamina because of my Word of Misery. And since he needs 1 more, and he's filled up, this converts over to damage. So now he's at 9 and only needs 3 more hits to go down. Okay, so now the only harpy left is my master harpy, and he can move 5, so that's 1, 2, but I'll stop him there and attack Averick. Okay, so my master harpy does blue and red. Averick has a gray. He's already exhausted his shield, and if I get a surge, I can do a swarm ability. Let's see. Oh, man. Missed. Lucky break for you guys is my master harpy missed. So now it's up to the flesh molders. Flesh molders can move 4 spaces. So this one will move 1, 2 here, and then attack Averick. So after that miserable performance by the master harpy, hopefully the master flesh molder can show him how it's done. Oh my gosh, that was terrible. Well, that was horrible. So this flesh molder is going to move 1, 2. Let me move these health over here by my master. And he's going to attempt to hit Averick now as well. Okay, here we go. Alright, so those are blocked there, but I have 1 hit and 2 surges. My surge on a minion flesh molder can add 1 damage. So that's 2 hits, right? Yep, 2 hits. And I can do mend 1, which means this monster recovers 1 hit point. So 2 damage on Averick. Now that may seem bad for me, because he's at 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. But the good thing is, because of my Word of Misery, he has to put 2 more stamina. And since he's filled up, that means he goes to 12, and he's down. Okay, so finally, a flesh molder was able to hit. Averick goes down again, adding more tokens to this space. And I get to draw a Overlord card. Okay. And now I've got 2 more flesh molders to move. This guy, he can move 4 spaces. So 1, 2, 3. But he doesn't have enough to go into the water. But I think he'll go ahead and attack the reanimate. Flesh Molder is blue and yellow. The Reanimate has no defense die. So he does 4 points of damage, which is actually enough to kill the Reanimate. Okay, I hope I didn't waste a good roll on that, but the zombie is dead. And now it's up to this guy. He will attack the survivor and try to win the quest. Okay, blue, yellow. Survivor has a defense of gray. I need 2 damage to win. There it is. I actually get 2 damage plus the surge, which will let me get 1 more, which will give me 3 damage, which is enough to kill the survivor. So finally, enough damage to defeat the survivor, and I get to read the boxed text. It says, screaming, the survivor falls, surrounded by countless foes. Struggling, you attempt to push through to rescue him, but before you can get close, several of the snarling creatures drag the poor man out of the village. The battle ends before much longer, but as night begins to fall, distinguishing muddy tracks from a proper trail in the darkness and pouring rain becomes too difficult to manage. The Overlord wins. Okay, so rewards. If the Overlord wins, he receives the Taskmaster's Ring Relic. And then I place the Spreading Affliction Advanced Quest card in play. The heroes receive 25 gold for every 2 objective tokens in their play area. So you guys get 25 gold because you have 2 objective tokens in your play area. And the Overlord has at least 3 objective tokens in his, or at least 4 objective tokens in his play. He receives the Secrets of the Flesh Overlord card, so I don't get that. Okay, so you guys are going to get 25 gold for you know, pity points. And then you're also going to have to sell each of these health potions for 25 each, and then those go back to the search deck, which means you guys have a total of 225 gold. Then you're also going to get 1 XP each, which means that Leoric is going to have, right, is that Leoric? It's going to have 2 gold, or 2 XP, and everyone else is going to have 1 XP. Also, I get the Taskmaster's Ring, which means each of my lieutenants' attacks are going to gain a surge to gain 2 movement points. Not all that useful, but I'll put it into play for the next one. It also says that the Spreading Affliction Advanced Quest card comes into play. But since we're playing this as a mini-campaign, that's not actually going to happen. And then I get 2 XP. So there. Okay, everybody gains all your health back, all your stamina, and the quest goes away. And now we're going to do a spend experience points and go shopping. Okay, we're going to start with Widow Tarha. Now these are the skills that she has available to buy. Now, Lee, you only have 1 point, so the real question is, do you want to buy this guy, Deathly Haste, or do you want to save your experience points for some of these others? Now Leoric is a Rune Master and has 2 experience points to spend, so you could buy 2 of these 1 cost ones, or 1 of these 2 cost ones, or you could save it up for these 3 cost ones. Okay, Everic is a Disciple, and he has 1 XP to spend, so you could buy this Blessed Strike, or Armor of Faith, or you could save it up and get Prayer of Peace, or one of these other 2 cost ones later, or the Holy Power for 3 cost eventually. Finally, Jane is a Wildlander, has 1 XP, you can spend it on Accurate or Eagle Eyes, or you can save it for these others. So everybody let me know what you want to do, what you want to spend your experience points, or if you want to save them, and I will start the shopping. Your first option is a Magic Staff. This is a ranged weapon that does blue and red, and with a surge ability of deal 1 damage to another monster within 3 spaces and another surge to give it +1 range. It's a 2-handed weapon. Second option is a Sling, another ranged weapon, blue and yellow this time, with a surge ability of +1 range and +1 damage, and another surge ability of stun. Oh, I forgot. This one cost 150. This one costs 75. Next up, Heavy Cloak costs 75 gold. Exhaust this card after the dice are rolled to cancel one surge on an attack that targets you. So it's armor. Takes up the armor slot. An Iron Shield. It's another armor. Actually, this takes up a hand. And it's costs 50 gold. Exhaust this card after rolling dice to either re-roll one die or add one shield to the result. So a little bit better than the wooden shield that Avric has. This is the Iron Shield. And finally, the Belt of Alchemy. It costs 100 gold. It takes up the accessory slot, and it's got you spend an action to exhaust this card. You or an adjacent hero may discard a condition card or infection token, and you can only have one belt equipped at a time. So those are the 5 things you can buy. Again, you have 225 gold to spend collectively. So let me know what skills you want to buy. Let me know what items you want to buy. I'm going to go ahead and spend my XP on cards for my deck. And then once that's ready, we'll do the travel step and we'll set up the next quest.
And